Hello and welcome, Inspired Podcast community. This is your new episode. My name is Caroline, and my today's interview guest is Sylvia Morrison. And I'm so happy that she's here. She said yes. I met her on Facebook in a Facebook group, and she accepted my invitation to this podcast. I'm happy. And I would like to introduce yourself to the audience, please.
Thank you very much, Caroline. I am so excited to be here. So, hi everyone, I am Sylvia Morrison. I am the founder of Links Across Borders. Links Across Borders is a nonprofit organization that builds libraries and provide educational resources for children in Ghana. And I also work with women to connect with the dream in their heart to manifest the life that they would really love living. So this is a perfect podcast for me to be on because I believe that, when we take inspired action, we really just live in flow. Nice to be
Yes.
here.
Oh, thank you. And I love that you mentioned it. For me, it is I didn't allow myself to listen to my intuition. It's only like 1 or 2 years I do this. And it's great because I learn every day. I learn and I open more and more to that. And I love that you talked about it is the foundation you said, I think, links
Yes,
across borders. It is important.
yes,
You mentioned Ghana. You don't know,
yes.
I visited Senegal in 2018. It is not
Mm,
so far away because it's
not too
West
far away.
Africa, not so
That's right.
far.
Yes,
But I
yes.
think in Ghana you are English speaking and Senegal is a French speaking country. Yes. Mhm.
Yeah, well, in Ghana, there are over 50 local languages. Yes, English is one of the languages that is widely spoken and is an official language here. But there are over 50 languages spoken in Ghana. Yes.
Oh, and I think you don't know this. When I set an intention when I created this podcast, and I said I want to talk with people in every country of the world. So Ghana
Welcome.
is really special, and and it's came by intuition. You as the guest. Okay, let's ask the first question. What
Yes.
inspires you?
What inspires me? Oh gosh, I could answer that question even after this has ended. I'm still answering the one question. But I'll say what inspires me really, the core of my inspiration is the truth that each one of us, I believe, is here on this planet for a purpose to bring a particular medicine to humanity. And when we lock into that and we find that, we live in flow. And so I'm inspired to do the work that I do because I see the transformation that it causes. And I am delighted and excited by that transformation. And I also believe that as each one of us gets transformed and continues to be transformed, we get to live in an expanded state, and we just get to live our best lives. And I am all about that. So that's what inspires me, transformation.
Oh, thank you so much for this word, transformation. I love that so much. And of course, this interview will transform both of us. We are different people after this interview. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm amazed. Okay, who inspires you?
Who inspires me?
Mhm.
The people who went before me and the children that I work with now. So I am here in Ghana because I visited Ghana. I was born and raised in Jamaica. And ever since, I was a little girl, I always just knew in my heart that I am an African child. And so when I had the opportunity as an adult to make my own decisions and decide where I want to go and do my life, after many years, not right away as I became an adult, but I decided to visit Ghana And the first time that I visited Ghana, I saw children that looked exactly like me as a little girl. Like any little girl looked like that was me, you know. And I just really enjoyed being here. And I noticed, though, that throughout the time, as much as I was enjoying, a little part of my heart that was not satisfied because I was missing the image of a child just sitting under a tree, maybe reading a book. I didn't see kids reading books, and I didn't see many books in classrooms or in even, I didn't see a library. And so I thought, I just felt, in fact, my intuitive self said to me, um, you need to bring books for the kids. And so for 6 years, I kept coming to Ghana and bringing books. And then in the seventh year, I was inspired to build the first library. And every year since that, I've been building a library. And it inspires me to see how the children are drawn to the libraries and to the reading programs. And, although many people think that children here don't read, I find that because they do not have access to books, they don't seem to like reading. But when they have access to books, they are delighted to read. So they inspire me every day, the kids here in Ghana.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing. I remember when I first learned to read, I didn't stop. I didn't. So, no, of course, this is a great skill to have, and it
Mhm.
opens, yeah, your imagination also.
Yes,
Okay. How do you inspire other people?
I inspire stories. Stories. I find that, my my delight and my joy is to inspire people into action. But I find that, and I've been an educator all my life, so I love teaching. I really love teaching. But I find that stories cut across cultures, cuts across boundaries, because stories speak to our hearts and connect with us on a soul level. So I inspire people with stories, and not made up stories, but stories about the children who inspire me, stories about the work that I do and the impact that causes in the world, stories of transformation that has happened to me as a result of working with my coaches and mentors. So stories, I inspire people with stories.
Oh, I love that so much. So you tell stories? You
Yes.
inspire by stories.
Yes, I tell
Okay.
stories. I tell stories in my talks. So I really enjoy being a public speaker, and I look for opportunities, and that's why I said yes when I saw your podcast request. I said yes right away without even reading what it was about. I saw it said inspired daily. Well, that's what I want to do. So yes, you know. So I love, and I'm really grateful for opportunities to share my message, which is that every single one of us has what it takes to create the change that we want to see. Whether it's change in my personal life or it is change in my society, there is something that I
Mhm.
can do. There is something that you can do to make a difference. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to be able to solve the problem entirely. No, you might not be able to, but you can do one thing. Maybe you could speak to someone about it. You will get an idea of what else you could do. Maybe you have an inspired nudge to pick up something and bring it towards that problem. Yes, when you do that, you take that one action, you will get another idea of what else you can do. And you will be connected with different ways in which. So there's always some things that we can do. And I love to have opportunities to share that with folks. So I share stories in my talks. I love writing, so I write children's books because I also want children to start to think about how they can make a difference in the world and how they can make a difference in their own lives, on the playground, in their homes, their families, wherever. Change is something that's always happening. We can either inspire the change that we want to see happen, make it happen, or we get changed by default and we don't know what's happening to us,
Yes. Wow, I
right?
heard this before in different words. I will not repeat these words. Yeah, and what you said, you can do one thing. It's like you can ignite others by if you are not able to do it all alone, you can ignite others and they will help you. And this is
That's
amazing.
right.
Yeah. Wow, and I
Absolutely.
love, it is like an experiment as well for me to attract the right people for the podcast. And today I heard something about being on the same frequency. This is why we are talking. You dialed in sort of in this room, this virtual room, and me too. And then we are on
Mhm.
the same frequency, but not only technically, but from our hearts.
Yeah,
Even if we wouldn't speak the same language, I can feel it. I can feel your energy, your
yeah,
enthusiasm about that project. And I love to hear more about that. My podcast is confidential, so please connect to Sylvia. We will put whatever the link, if you send me a link or your email
yes,
address, we put it in the show notes and they can also reach out to me. I will connect you, and then you can do the one thing you can do together, and there will
that's
be so much more. Okay,
yeah.
my next question is, what are your gifts and talents?
My gift. I really am a very good teacher. I'm an amazing teacher. I know it probably sounds conceited to some people, but at my age, I don't bother to pretend that I don't know. I don't wait for someone to tell me. I know that I'm a really good teacher. Something else that that's a really, I think is a gift for me is to really listen deeply and to inspire others, to really help folks to see, to find their spark, to touch that thing inside of them that they didn't know was there, and to set a flame to it, help them to get that alight. And like even this morning, I had a young boy who came to the house to visit here, and he just and I said some things to him. He came, he looked so just bland on his face, no smile, no nothing. And we were talking
Mhm.
about his art. He's an amazing little artist, and I'm asking him about his art, and he's just so doesn't want to talk much about it. And I just said a few things to him as he was sitting there beside his teacher. And I just asked him a few questions, and he started to talk. And little by little, his smile started to come on because now we were reaching into his heart and touching the thing inside which he was too shy to talk about, which is really his art. And I
Mm.
just told him, I said, do you know God is also an
Wow.
artist? God is an artist,
Yes.
and you are an artist.
God is
You're in the same category.
mhm. Yes.
Yeah.
He
So,
he's made in his image.
absolutely,
Mhm, mhm.
absolutely. And so
Wow.
I knew that,
Oh,
touching on that would really light him up. So I I enjoy I enjoy supporting folks, assisting folks to connect with the heart. Put aside all the other things that's on the shell, on the outside, that society has put on us or we've collected along the way, and just really go to the core of what really lights me up. You know, yes. So, yes, that's one of my gifts or talents.
yes. I can
The
feel
word.
it. And also when you said God is an artist, yes, he created um, each and every one of us as a masterpiece. Wow.
Yeah.
Yes,
He was so
everyone.
surprised when I said that. When I said that, I could see his eyes open, like, "Oh my gosh, did she say God is an artist?" And I said, "Yeah,
He
God
never
is an
thought
artist."
of this that way. And this
That's
is
right.
also what your gift is, making someone see what's not in their mind before, but it's there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. Yes,
I
yes,
can feel it.
that's right. Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you so much. Okay, I have one last question
That's okay.
about your offers and services, and also if you want to like your message for the people when
Mhm.
they to reach out to you, whatever you want to say now, your message, please.
Okay. So, well, I would love to invite people to come to Ghana and volunteer with Links Across Borders. Yes. Over the years, we have brought over 200 volunteers to Ghana. And
Mhm.
what I love about it is that folks don't only serve the children here in Ghana or the communities here, they get transformed in the process. The volunteers are transformed in the process. And I love that it is a beautiful, powerful exchange. So if folks are interested to volunteer in any of our reading programs or art programs, I would love for them to reach out to us. This is my banner in the back here. Links Across Borders, yes? And they can find us on Facebook, they can find our website, any of that. I would also like to speak to the women in our audience who are at a stage in their life, where their life might even be very good. And you're at this stage in your life where you feel like there is something more. There's something more that is calling me. Something, and I don't know how to get started on it. In fact, I don't even know what it is. I would love to offer a free conversation. Yes, they could book a call with me at sylviamorrison.com or just email me at sylviabmorrison@gmail.com. We'll put the links up. But I would love to help folks to connect with the dream that is in their heart, to live the life that they want. And it doesn't mean to live the life that you want means you have to get rich. Yes, although that is also possible. But living the dream is really living the life that you are aligned with in your heart. This is what I love doing, whatever that is. And I can help you to connect with what that is. So um, just find me on Facebook. I'm Sylvia Morrison. I'm all over the place there. Yeah. And once per month, I facilitate a women's circle on the third Saturday of each month. We call it My Sister's Circle. And I would love to invite folks to participate in that as well. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. This was a lot. Okay, we can volunteer
Lots.
to come to Ghana. Yeah, this was a lot to recap also. To build libraries. No, you build libraries and they are invited to teach
Yes.
reading and art. You said something with art
Art.
as well.
Yes.
Art.
Yes.
And you said the circle, you offer circle,
Yes.
third Saturday of of the
Of the
month.
month.
And
Yes.
the third thing was the free consultation.
Yes. Mhm. I think the internet is.
Conversation with you. It's
Yes.
amazing and something more. And then you reach out to Sylvia and you find your purpose. Wow, amazing. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for this interview. This was really, really good. We can do this again in 1 year if you're open, and then we can see where we are at, which are our
Absolutely.
new projects.
Absolutely.
Yes, perfect.
Caroline,
Oh,
thank you so much. I really appreciate this. Thank you.
thank you, and see you in the next episode.